Hess asks FIDE to address suspicious rating gains in hybrid events. Grandmaster Robert Hess says he is concerned with what he describes as an ongoing and worsening problem in hybrid chess events and asks FIDE to address the problems. Okay. Or address the problem, I should say. The US Grandmaster and Chess.com commentator published a long post on Twitter regarding hybrid events, a format where games are played online, but the players themselves can be physically playing from a public place such as a club, federation, headquarters, or a hotel, but supervised by an arbiter. Okay. My thoughts on the current state of FIDE hybrid events. Read the tweet longer. In his post, he wrote, as someone who fell in love with chess as a kid, I relish the idea that every result was earned through meticulous calculation and strenuous work at the board. At present, I have found this has not universally been the case, and the lack of oversight of governing bodies jeopardizes the legitimacy of ratings, scholarships, titles, national championships, and team qualification spots. FIDE introduced the format in early 2021 as a result of the pandemic, which put a halt to over-the-board tournaments globally. Hess continued, currently, FIDE-rated hybrid events see players increasing their ELO at alarming rates. This runs counter to the experience that can be observed from the progress of thousands of players and millions of games. Hybrid matches are played online at specific venues, while opponents are online at a different location, allowing for more convenient participation in international competitions. Unfortunately, rating manipulation seems to be more commonplace. Okay, so first things first, I don't know what they're saying here. Is Robert saying that people are cheating in online tournaments, like using computers and going up really, really fast? Or is he saying that games are prearranged? I don't know which one he's saying, because one of those two things is obviously being insinuated here. Speaking to chess.com, Hess says he does not want to call out individuals in many cases, minors, but is critical of the lack of oversight and supervision with such events. He pointed to several examples of players gaining hundreds of rating points by playing in hybrid events. Okay, so what is he saying though? Yeah, I think it's suspicious, it's rampant, and it has significant consequences, he tells chess.com. International arbiter Christopher Bird points out to what appears to be a pattern of US players gaining rating while Serbian players dropped points. These USA-Serbia hybrid events that are being approved by the SRB Federation are a goldmine for gaining FIDE rating points. Look at the rating gains for USA players versus losses for Serbia players from the event from the March FRL. Okay. USA. You have US players 23-15. Everybody is gaining. What does this mean? Oh, wait. This says USA. Wait, if I understand this correctly, they're saying that the US player gained 57 points, 61 points, 14 points, 8.8, 27.2, and 44 points. Meanwhile, Serbian players lost 3.2, 16.2, 20 points, and 0.4. And even on the other side, you see there's a Serbian player losing 111 points. Again, I don't know what this means. Click the link. Okay, let's pull this up. Okay, so this is like the entire link. It's saying someone who's 1896 gains points. It's saying all these US players are gaining points while the Serbian players are losing points. Basically, that's what it's saying. Now, again, I don't really understand exactly what is being said here. It's not completely clear cut, but it does sound a little bit suspicious. Okay. Less than a month after Hess got in contact with the US Chess Federation in October, the executive board decided to no longer register hybrid events with FIDE. However, since the practice was banned in November, events have continued in the US as organizers have registered the hybrid events with foreign federations. Okay. Yeah, we got less than a month after Hess got in contact with the US Chess Federation in October, the executive board decided to no longer register hybrid events with FIDE. However, since the practice was banned in November, events have continued in the US as organizers have registered the hybrid events with foreign federations. Hess writes, by registering the hybrid events with foreign federations, they were allowed to be rated by FIDE. Since US Chess has no jurisdiction to prevent this practice, many players, including title players, have gained an extraordinary number of FIDE rating points via online tournaments. Regrettably, their over-the-board performances do not seem to match this level. Hess' post seemed to have immediate effects as FIDE's qualification commission clarified the regulation for hybrid events. One day later, saying that such events require the approval of all federations in which all federations in which a playing venue is located. It remains unclear how these events could still be rated with FIDE despite this requirement. Bird pointed to several US arbiters who have been involved with hybrid events since US Chess stopped registering them. Okay, so since US Chess stopped registering hybrid events, these USA FIDE arbiters have been involved in SRB approved hybrid events, number of events complicit or oblivious. Shi Liang with 9 events, Randy Huff with 7, Noreen Davison with 6, Tom Nelson with 4, Tom Langland with 3, Norm May with 3, and Tom Brownscombe with 2. Okay, crazy stuff. He also noted that while the events are required to be supervised by arbiters on each site with players, some of the ones listed in the registration are not based in the US. Hess says he has heard from other participants that US players pay entry fees and get to select their opponents, while Serbian and Bulgarian players receive the money. In many cases, the events take place at night. He hopes that FIDE will take action. So Robert Hess is essentially saying that US players are paying entry fees and the money goes straight into the pocket of Serbian and Bulgarian players. Wow, okay. That's a pretty strong and bold assessment by Hess. Very, very bold assessment. I'm surprised that there's no legal action being taken against him for saying this. Because he's basically saying, in essence, he's saying that these US players are basically paying money, but that like Serbian and Bulgarian players literally get it right in their pocket. Wow. Okay. The governing body can act very slowly. They need to be proactive with these things. The well-known commentator notes that he sees the value in hybrid events as he loves online chess, but there need to be proper reviews and proctoring. He says, adding, I'm a huge proponent of online chess and would love to see hybrid events flourish. The format itself can be great, but does need better safeguards and oversight. Who wouldn't love the thought of an Argentina versus Croatia or France versus Morocco chess match before the same country squared off in the World Cup semis? While hybrid events have come under scrutiny lately, there are also advocates of the hybrid system and the flexibility it offers. US National Master Mike Zelazny responded to Hess's post and says he disagrees with it. He says he benefited greatly from participating in 17 hybrid events that took place in Los Angeles, Seattle, San Jose, and Las Vegas. Okay, hybrid events were great tournaments in my humble opinion. They were the best run events in the USA. You get pairings ahead of time and can prepare. You can play a variety of strong players and get the games FIDE rated. There are multiple levels of anti-cheating detection, which is important to me. He added, for me personally, who is 43 years old and has a full-time job, playing hybrid allows me to get FIDE rated games under my belt on weekends, compete versus strong players without having to travel, and play chess while sustaining my full-time employment. It was truly a blessing. Chess.com asked FIDE to comment on Hess's claims and will update this article when there is an answer. Hess's post received support from Fabiano Caruana, who wrote, the governing body should protect against any possibility of prearranged events. FIDE has yet to respond to Hess's post, but its CEO, Emil Satovsky, commented on Twitter, looks more than suspicious indeed. We will look at it closely and take a prompt action. Another response came from Theodoru Sorbatzoglu, Secretary General of the European Chess Union, who wrote, the issue is much more serious than only hybrid events. Wait, the issue is much more serious than only hybrid events? Okay, dude. Okay. Interesting comment. More than just hybrid events. So anyway, this is an article that I wanted to cover very briefly. It's about Robert Hess and talking about hybrid events. I mean, I think that I think probably what's happening is there's plenty of people like this Mike Zelazny who are playing events where it's completely legitimate. He has a full-time job, just wants to play chess in his spare time, and then probably there's certain situations which are quite different. So probably every situation is not the same, but nonetheless, it does sound like a fairly serious issue, which does need to be taken seriously. All right,